Hey there, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Morris here. How are you? I'm just reading a little while we're apart from each other. In fact, I hope we get to read a lot. But this is the first book I chose to read while we were on this break from one another. And boy, it is not easy. I am finding myself having to read and reread different parts of this story because I'm not understanding everything. It is hard. It's okay to have to read and reread. It's always okay to read and reread because if you don't understand something, there's no point in reading it. So I need to make sure I understand this book if I'm going to get any enjoyment or information from it at all. So one thing I keep having to reread is in order for me to understand the context that the author is talking about, and all context is just the interrelated surroundings of words or phrases or ideas and how they work together to bring you a story. And sometimes, as a fourth grade reader, when you are reading new books and books that are getting harder for you, there are new words you've never been exposed to before. And so what I'm here to talk to you about is how to use context clues to figure out words. You are going to have to be a word detective in order to figure out what some words mean. As you're reading through your stories, you're going to have to figure out, oh, I don't know that word, and then decide what you're going to do to figure it out. Don't just pass along. Don't just keep reading. Make sure you understand what you're reading. So, we have a few ways for you to understand what they are, and this lesson goes along with a lesson in your packet called How to Use Context Clues. You'll find this in your packet on pages 11 and 12. The first page of the packet, page 11, is just instruction. It is all of the stuff we're going to talk about here and a way to practice it. And if mom and dads want to help you with this, that's okay. They can help you right along with this. But the second page, page 12, this is independent practice. This we'd like you to try to do on your own. If mom and dad need to help you read some of the more difficult words up here, that's okay, but we really want you to try to figure out these answers on your own. So we're going to talk about how to be detectives. Here, come on in. Look close. Sometimes you will find a definition of a word right in there while you're reading. If you find the definition, that means you're going to get the meaning of the word as you're reading it. Another way is through word parts. Look for a helpful prefix, suffix, or root word. Sometimes those will help you figure out what a word is. Examples. You will find words like such as, like, or. Those will help you figure out a word. You will even come across words that have synonyms in a sentence or antonyms. The trick is not to just read a word, finish the sentence, and give up on it. You have to read all around a word, sometimes a paragraph behind or a paragraph ahead. I want to give you some examples of how we use these clues in a book we've been reading together in room 151, The One and Only Ivan. One of the first paragraphs in this book is all about his domain. Here, let me read this little paragraph. It's just a quick 2-sentence paragraph. My domain is at one end of the ring. I live here because I am too much gorilla and not enough human. Domain. That's a hard word. We've already read it, and there are several of you in the room who didn't know what the word domain meant. So, we are going to keep reading. My domain is at one end of the ring. My domain is at one end of the ring. We could read that sentence over and over and over again. We're not going to understand what domain means if we don't know what the word domain already means. So we are going to keep reading into the next sentence. I live here because I am too much gorilla and not enough human. I live here. I think I just got the definition of the word domain. Domain is where he lives. And you could figure that out because you kept reading. Go on to another part of the mall. This part of the mall, he comes across a dog named Bob. "Everywhere is my home," Bob answered. "I am a wild beast, my friend, untamed and undaunted." Untamed and undaunted? What does that mean? Well, let me keep reading to see if I can figure it out. "I told Bob he could work in the shows like Snickers, the poodle who rides Stella." That's not helping me figure out this word. Keep going. "Bob said Snickers sleeps in a pink pillow in Mac's office." I must have missed something. I'm going to go back. Maybe if I read before the word untamed, I'll figure it out. "Everywhere is my home," Bob answered. "I am a wild beast, my friend, untamed and undaunted." Untamed. Oh, two things. If I know about prefixes, suffixes, or root words, I know what to be tame is. Untamed would be not tamed. That's one way I could figure it out. Another way to figure out is just when he says, "I am a wild beast." See, the author gave me the clue before I read the word untamed. I am a wild beast. Untamed means not tamed. He's wild. He could never be a pet in our house. Let's keep going. Boy, this author, Catherine Applegate, she's really making us do some work. There's another word that really could trick us up if we let it. But since we're really good detectives in 4th grade, we're not going to let it trick us up. Back in those days, the Big Top Mall was smaller. It had a pony ride, a wooden train that bustled around the parking lot, a few bedraggled parrots, and a surly spider monkey. Bedraggled? What is a bedraggled parrot? Let me keep reading to see if I can figure it out. "But when Mac brought me, a baby gorilla dressed in a crisp tuxedo, to the mall, everything changed. People came from far and wide to have their pictures taken with me. They held me in their laps. Once I even held the baby in mine." Wow. I don't know. I'm getting a picture, a whole idea here. This is not on this list. This is where we inference, where we use our schema or our background knowledge and what we know about the book and what's happening in the book to think about our thinking. Back in those days, that means before, the Big Top Mall was smaller. It had a pony ride, a wooden train, and a few bedraggled parrots. Things weren't so great back then. But when Mac brought me, everything changed. People came from far and wide. You have to use all those ideas to understand that back then wasn't so great. We can guess those parrots. They didn't look so hot. They were bedraggled. There's also no way of knowing if what we think about the word is right. We just have to use our best guess sometimes. That is what inferencing is. The author is going to ask you to do work, and you need to do it. And even though we want you to complete this worksheet to help understand context clues, it's also most important to do it when you're reading the books your teachers are asking you to read. You need to apply it to those stories. Please keep it up. Keep reading. Keep trying all these strategies that you're going to learn throughout the next few weeks in these videos, and have fun. Enjoy your stories. Keep working. Can't wait to hear about all of the context clues you found when we get back together. Talk to you later. Bye.